Yo, 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 hey, welcome back, YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well today. I appreciate everybody popping in, showing up. So, let me go ahead and do my little thing. I'm gonna go ahead and give the shout outs. See what we got going down. Mr. Diddy, how you doing, my brother? Good to see you in here. If you guys don't know, give Mr. Diddy a like, a comment, follow, subscribe, whatever it is that you do, go over there and do it for my man right there. He's got a dope channel. Salute, Mr. Muffin. Got you modded up, brother. Salute, Miss Thing. Got you modded up as well. Hey, if you guys don't know, Miss Thing has a good channel. You need to go give her some love. Give her a follow, like, give her some views, share the videos. You know what time it is. Let's see who else we got. We got the man Ronnie Blueyes down there in the chat.
Salute.
Of course, we have Scott, little weirdo ass dude in there. Oop, already cussing. Already cussing. What up, Herb Dizzle? Got you that young wrench there, buddy?
Yeah.
Hope all is well. SoCal gal or girl. Salute. Salute, Cali Me Joker. Got the Miss Just Jen. What up, Dub? Yeah, you're we all know that. Dub, that's old news, buddy. Canadian, that must be Scott again. Let's see.
Salute to the chat.
Definitely salute to the
Each and
chat.
every one of you for pulling up to the YouTube streets. You know.
Hey, thank you for everybody that was at the pre-pod and that made their way over here. It's New Age Blood Talking. I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Salute.
Right, shit. We might just be about almost caught up. I don't know. It just seems to keep going. Never mind. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Yo, Broken Home Podcast. Hey, man.
Jay.
Good to see y'all up in here showing that support. We appreciate you. Go ahead. Give them a like, comment, follow, subscribe. They do a lot of good content as well. Make sure you show them some love. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to NJ Courts.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said salute to NJ Courts.
Jersey.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Salute.
Herb Dizzle, salute. How you doing, man?
Disgruntled Simp Mod. That's funny. That's a funny name right there. I like that name. I hope you don't turn out to be a troll, though.
Salute.
Salute to NJ Courts as well. What up, Jimbo? Good to see you. My man, JoJo. Hey, what up, bro? Haven't seen you in a while in here. Glad you're in here.
Salute.
Oh, you just found out, Dub? Yeah, he's been a weirdo, bro. For a minute.
He's been on some weird timing, bro.
Adam 20. Yeah, definitely. Adam 22 has been a weirdo for a while. Salute to your stepdad. Good to see you. Hey, just so everybody knows, though, once we get into it, I'm not going to be reading the comments, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
I don't, we get distracted when we do that all the time.
The yard, what up? If that's the real Lance, what up?
Salute. Oh, there he is. What up, Lance? Salute, brother.
Hey, yo, what do you say? What do you know? Hey. It's your boy Blueyes, ready, set, let's go. Azruction, New Age Plug, Ronnie Blueyes, YouTube Streets Podcast. We got Bobbi Dylan tonight, the Hot Throb Villain tonight.
Hey, make sure y'all go show Lance off the yard some love. Give him a like, follow, do all that good stuff. Share his videos. He's got some good stories. He's been doing a lot of content. So make sure you get at him, let him and show him that support.
Hell yeah, salute.
But yes, tonight we have the Bobbi Dylan, the only one in real life. The other one is from a movie, but
and is a musician as well, I'm pretty sure.
And her name is Jen. It's kind of funny though.
Yeah.
Salute. Hell yeah.
Jenny.
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 But yeah, so we got a lot to cover tonight. We got a lot we're going to be talking about. Stay tuned towards the end for the super chat questions. Just a heads up, you still got to keep them respectful. You know what I mean? So I don't want you to send a super chat for a question and then it not get answered. You know what I mean? Obviously, if it's disrespectful and too crazy, we're not going to do all that. You know what I mean? So, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to know some stuff later on. So, you know, stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, this might be a little bit of a long one. I'm not too sure.
Pause.
Let's go ahead and all get comfy.
Pause again.
Did it pause?
No. I'm saying you said we're gonna have
Get
a
your
long
pre-rolls. I got 3 rolled.
No,
Yeah.
man. Let's start. Hey, dude, I always try to start from the beginning. I don't know about you, AZ, but you want to start from the beginning?
Definitely. Yeah,
Where-
definitely.
Where was you born?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, stand up.
Yeah.
All right.
And
All right.
then,
Well,
you grew up in Brooklyn?
I grew up all over. Like, my parents got divorced, so half was in Brooklyn, half was in Jersey.
oh, that's interesting because don't like Jersey and people like from New York kind of like have like a weird feud with each other.
They do, but I feel like everyone from New York eventually moves to Jersey. It's just like a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's because you want to see trees and like your kids have a playground to
It's
play
like
on.
Boston's Rhode Island, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get it. Interesting.
Yeah, very close. I noticed that living up here, living up there when I was up there. That a lot of people would move. A lot of people in the city would move to Pennsylvania or Jersey, to get out to the country to the sticks. They would call that the sticks. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, how about school? like what school did you go to? Like elementary, middle school, high school?
All different parts of Jersey. And then I went to college in Jersey. And then I went to college. I went to college everywhere I've ever lived. It's like I went to college in Colorado and Nevada, in California, back in Jersey. Like I always stay in school to just stay my education going.
Okay, so I mean, with that being said, you know what I mean. Like, give us because the reason why I'm gonna get into this is because later on when we discuss the path you ended up taking, can you give us like a brief background of what your childhood was like? Like, what kind did you have like traumatic experiences that might have led up to that? Did you have just a good childhood? Like I had a good childhood. I just made bad decisions all the time.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
had a
mean?
good
So
childhood. I was kind of like a nerd. I was definitely like a type A personality. Like whatever the teacher said I would do. I was like honor roll, gifted and talented. Like any AP classes, I would be in AP classes. But at the same time, I'd be like selling weed. Like in high school, like middle school, like,
oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Like I can do all these classes, but I just really like weed.
So you got into that early.
Yeah, early. But I
All
also
right.
lived in like on the border of a bad neighborhood where it was like we were the rich side, but all the poor kids would come over. So like there'd be hella fights, like there'd be gang initiations and shit in my middle school. And like you'd have to worry about drive-bys. And like I went to a friend's party when I was like 13 and a cop killed somebody in front of us.
Oh wow, hey, walk us through that.
Damn.
So we were at like a Ukrainian Orthodox church and we're just having a party there because she was from Ukraine. And it's like, cake, a trampoline, like, nothing crazy. And we go outside on the trampoline and you just hear pop, 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 pop. And it was a standoff. And then everyone's parents had to come pick them up. But it was like a standoff between a cop and a civilian, but it was gang related. But they both shot each other. So it was homicide, suicide by cop, they called it. And I was like, how are you going to call it suicide by cop? Suicide is yourself.
Yeah, they used to
I mean, some people do it like
yeah.
like there's dudes that if they don't want to go back to prison,
They give
they'll
them no option.
intentionally do something to a cop knowing that the cop is gonna have to kill them.
Yeah, they give them no option. Basically,
Right. Yeah.
it's in a poor choice of words, but yeah.
It was just crazy that I was like at that age and I'm just like, we hit the ground. We all knew, we'd been through that kind of thing before. So just hit the ground, duck and cover. But I'm like, how are they going to later call it suicide by cop? Because, at 13, I'm like, suicide is yourself. Like that don't make sense. And I just always question things because I was very smart. And I was like, that just don't make sense to me. And I wasn't really a big fan of the police, but I have police in my family. So,
So you seen that at 13 years old?
yeah.
That must have been traumatic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely that's wild.
you just knock it off the cuff, and shit like that happens. You're like, all
Oh,
right,
for
what am
sure. You think it's normal at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially like when my parents grew up in Brooklyn, like it was a rough area. So
Yeah.
it's like I had it better off because I only saw one rather than, 5 bodies.
Right.
All right. And give people an idea real quick. How old are you?
I'm 30 now. So I joined the industry
Okay.
when I was like 22, 23, and I was playing 18 years old. So most people think I'm about 4 years younger than I really am, which isn't bad because that means that I can look it and pass it.
Right. Yeah, they say I look young too. I mean,
That's always a good thing. You want to
not
look,
really.
no one wants to say you look old.
Just joking.
Except when he don't got his ID and he wants his Black and Miles or his blunts. He's salty.
So do you have a first memory? I just remember like one of my first memories is like eating a ramen noodle off the ground. Do you have like a first memory?
My first memory was when I used to roll around in a doll stroller because I was like big for my age. So I'd walk around in a stroller and like probably 3 or 4 years old. And we had like a step down into the living room, and I bust my jaw on the step down, and there were carpenter's nails underneath. So I just remember rolling around in this stroller, and I don't remember hitting it, but then I remember like people telling me the story, like, yeah, you got stitches, you had to be in 2 straight jackets, like you kept getting out of the straight jackets, and you were like wrangling around.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, that started early. So you started early on.
Yeah, again, out of them
Sometimes we
straight
don't know
jackets.
how much it affects us till later, but go ahead.
That's facts. So Ronnie.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Plug,
Yeah, because think about it. Internalize. It's like what's it called? And what do you call it? Like
Institutionalized.
maybe that's not what I'm looking
Well, I
for.
Oh,
grew
I
up
thought
in
that's
the
the word you were
streets.
trying to say.
I grew up
Maybe
in the
not,
fucking
but
projects and shit was fucked up, but it was normal to me at the time. It was
right.
normal. It was normal to everyone in the neighborhood to not have a
Mhm.
father, this, that, to be put, whatever,
Right.
But
Yeah.
when you
How
step
was
out
that?
and
Was
get a
that
different
there?
perspective, you realize that it ain't normal. Or when you grow older, you have kids of your own, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
How about the dad? Was daddy there for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was on and off. Like, he's like a workaholic. So now that I'm older, I see that he had to work to provide. But when you're a kid, you're like, you didn't show up, you're an asshole. But when you're older,
Right.
you're like, damn, you got to afford child support. You got to afford, the
Yeah.
payments. You got to afford the bills. Like,
Perspective.
yeah,
Yep.
you definitely, like, we have a great relationship now. And, like,
Good.
I have a daughter. So he's like, everything that he missed out with me, he makes up with my daughter.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's cool though. That works.
That's a great thing, And
Yeah.
sometimes like when you can't mend something, but you could be there, you can't. It's giving them a grandfather at the same time. So it's being selfless. It's a great thing.
For
As
sure.
a father of a daughter, I gotta ask you, like, does your dad know about all the?
Yeah, he ended up finding out like towards the end of the industry when I was in. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
damn, I thought I kept my shit so hidden. Like I thought I was sneaky, sneaky.
Right. What was his reaction?
I mean, he didn't have to say it. He was obviously disappointed. And like, you're so smart. You went to college. You had every opportunity. Like, sorry, I'm sick. So
That's good.
getting my voice back.
Bless.
You had every opportunity. So like, why'd you have to do this shit? And I'm like, because I like to bend the rules. I like to break the rules. I like to see how far I can go. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to make a fuck ton of money really quickly, really easily.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
I didn't want to go to
I
jail because
understand.
I knew when I was in college, if I sold weed, that shit was a felony back then. So if
Yeah.
I would have got caught with weed, that's a felony and I can't get any more student
Yeah.
loans
I've been
or,
there.
financial aid. But
Yep.
if I go the porn route, I can make a bunch of money, pay off college, buy a house, and nobody can charge me with shit.
Okay. I get, because
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would be pretty upset. Only,
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, as a dad, I would be upset.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
he
not only that,
definitely was.
but now you've ruined porn for the poor guy.
I know, my whole family, yeah.
Well, we'll go back into the early stages and, like, you know, what you've been through, what you experienced. But what was your exit strategy? We just, you know, why'd you get out?
I ended up getting out because of like there was a bunch of sex trafficking, human trafficking.
Right,
Like you see the nitty gritty and like
right.
evil side of it, and you agree to do so much. So for you to try to push me to do more and more and more,
Yeah,
and like try to break my consent and try to just not
you
make
got
me
a whole
feel
nother
good.
perspective.
Exactly. So it's like there were just a bunch of like pimping and shit like that. And it's like people think and talk about pimping, but until they lived in that life and have
Yeah,
been through it, they don't know that like it's not cool to be a pimp. It's not a good thing to be a pimp.
yeah. No,
Right.
there's people
I agree.
doing security, and then there's people straight up gorilla pimping and trafficking. So there's all kinds of, you
Mm-hmm.
know, there's different kinds of, but there's definitely levels to that shit where it's just barbaric, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So before we get towards that part of it, because it's kind of
Right.
like the
We'll
end
go
almost.
backwards. Yeah, no.
Let's jump back.
Mhm.
So what came first? The stripping, the escorting, or the porn hub, or was it kind of like all mixed in?
It was porn first. I went and joined porn. I was like, I was on some fetish website, and I was
Wow,
like,
most girls
okay,
do
like
dancing.
yeah, I know. I was a fucked up way. I definitely did not do it the right way. If I would have known better, I would have just been a dancer my whole life.
Well, you live and you learn. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I did the industry because I was already like taking nude photos and putting them online of myself and like recording myself and doing stuff like that.
Hey, but
And
before that, when did you lose your virginity? I think that's important though.
I was 16. I was kind of a late bird.
Okay, now go ahead, proceed.
But yeah, so I went into porn, then I went into stripping, and then I went into they like trick you into escorting. Because when you say no, they're like, okay, we'll just come back with a better number. And you're like, no, I'm good. Like, I just want to do this legally. It's protected, it's covered under the law. Then they trick you, like, you're going to do a shoot for, new sensations. And it's really an old dude with a camera.
Right.
And you're like,
Oh wow.
motherfuckers. Like, yeah, they trick your ass into it. Like, literally, like, you're stuck in a room, there's a dude with the camera, you think that you're filming for a company that's like, okay, a stepdad scene or a creepy old dude scene, whatever, because they do those, but you don't realize that the video never comes out. And you're like, why did the video never come out?
Oh, that's crazy.
Did you enjoy it at that point, or did you enjoy dancing more?
I enjoy dancing always because it's a good workout. I liked doing the pole. I
Yeah.
liked talking to people. But in dancing, they try to get you addicted to coke. They try to get you on blow. They try to get you on liquor. They want you to be like stuck in that lifestyle. And I was like,
Right.
no, I'm saving money. I'm trying to be a homeowner. I'm trying to finish this college degree with no debt.
Again, trying to get you in the trap.
Yep.
All right.
Dang. Well, Jay-Z, you next. Go ahead.
Oh, all right.
Sorry,
Uh,
in a rotation.
yeah, no. That's good. So you started out, you know, with that. What was your, if you could pick one, what was your most prolific video? I know that you had said one in the last one, and the chats kind of went a little crazy. Uh, but I don't know. That might not be your most prolific one. But if it was, or whatever it was, let us know.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that any of them were like prolific. There was one that I did that was very thought provoking. Like it was about her, a porn performer wrote it, and it was about her childhood and her trauma. So she was like living out her trauma to heal herself. And I played her as like a younger girl. And I thought that was pretty prolific because she was like helping heal herself through this. but I don't know if it was more like they were exploiting her or if it was healing her.
Right. And then what do you think, what was your most popular video?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask the crowd. No, I don't know. I think the dread one, the last video I ever did, it was like this dude who's like crazy, obscenely large, and people just really like that genre.
Right.
Mr. D.
Well, so with that being said, then the question that leads into that is because I think that's kind of an understatement for Dread.
Yeah,
um,
obscenely large.
so after doing something like that, is how does that affect your dating world? Like, how does that affect your dating world? Because it's, it's I'm gonna assume it's one thing, when you do porn and all that.
Mm.
But if a guy accidentally stumbled across your video, not knowing that you were with somebody like Dread, does something like that affect your dating life? Because I'm sure porn does in the first place. But with that being said, does that extra feature,
Yeah, I mean, my ex lost his shit over that. Like, that was the constant issue, was that I did interracial porn, and he was like, he didn't care, but he was like, you're ruined, this, that, the other thing, like all the stereotypes he would bring up. But I was
right?
just like, it's a scene, it's acting, you do a job. I was hired to do a job. I got paid to do the job. I did the
Yeah.
job. Like, but most people see, like, I wasn't dating the guy, I wasn't in love with the guy, I don't hang out with the guy. It's just
Right.
like, hi, how you doing? Let's exchange tests. Let's be safe about it. Have a day at work, make it a good day, and go home.
And what's an average day on the set? Like how many hours for one scene does it take?
Usually about 6 hours, hair, makeup, and everything.
Okay.
But I have had it take like 10, 12.
And do you look at sex the same now, or is it like, or do you separate the two, or do you not really? You're kind of like, I'm good. I don't really care for it too much.
I mean, I definitely separate the two because one's work and one's real life. One has love involved, one has emotions involved, and one is just like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, one night stands. Like,
Right.
I hear you.
So when did you end up in Vegas? Because I remember you talking about that.
So I was originally on the East Coast, flying out to Florida and California to film, and then I moved out to Vegas so I could be closer to filming. So that was probably 2000. That was probably like 2015. I was filming, and then I started dancing in probably 2000. I did feature dancing, which is when you have a contract, so you're making at least $1,000 to walk in the door, and then you're getting all the tips.
Now, be honest with me. Now, in them clubs, is there a champagne room?
I mean, there's champagne rooms. Nothing goes down in them.
Yeah.
No, I don't still do porn. I stopped. I retired about, God, 4 years ago now. Probably more. 5 years ago.
Now, when you were traveling state to state and dancing and this and that, what was your, like, I don't want to say favorite state, but what was, the best experience, and what state did you have the most fun?
Yeah, obviously Vegas. I mean,
Yeah.
Vegas is always like, you'll get a lot of celebrities. You'll get a lot of like people
Compared to
throwing
what other states?
$1,000 compared to California, compared
Right.
to, like, I never danced in New Jersey or New York,
Right.
but I can't imagine getting the same action in New Jersey and New York.
Right. But yeah, I would think California would be up there too, but obviously Vegas is like numero uno for that,
Yeah, Vegas is definitely the hot spot for
Miami's
dancing.
good too, but yeah, I was just interested because literally a strip club in different in every state I go to is different.
Yeah.
Did porn and all this sex, did it make you hate sex?
No, I don't think I could ever get to that point. Like, even like I'm on antidepressants that are supposed to like kill your sex drive, and that never happened with me. It was just like a very high sex drive naturally. And it could never kill it, but it was like I was able to fulfill any fantasies that I had or any type of things that I wanted to experience, I was able to experience in a safe environment.
Now, all of them, like not all of them, but a lot of like porn stars or a lot of entertainers, you have that natural look. Did you ever think about having to get like the BBL and then the breast, implants?
No, I mean, now I have them. After I retired from porn, I did what I wanted to do. But in porn,
Oh, okay.
they wanted me to be very young looking and like 18, college schoolgirl, like very natural looking and young. So less tattoos, hide the tattoos.
Hey, that's crazy how they the porn industry grooms borderline like PDF file stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's why
Yeah.
it's like I wouldn't say any of them were profound movies
And
because
that's
it's
the
like,
kind of stuff you experience towards your exit,
yeah, and it's like I was 25 playing an 18-year-old, working with other 18-year-olds, and I was like, "Girl, do you have an out plan? Like, how are you going to explain this to your kids? Like, have you thought about these things?" And
Right.
we've had a lot of girls die. Like when I was in, we lost, I think, like 5 girls in 90 days.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
like
it's
a
bad.
couple was suicide, which was one of them was my friend August Ames, and then
Oh
she got
yeah, August Ames, R.I.P.
yep,
RIP.
she got bullied to death and hung
Wow.
herself.
Yeah,
And
R.I.P. to her. She was really good.
yeah,
Oh,
she
that's
was good
I
people.
just
sad.
know, guys. I just know from research purposes. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
We had to do our
Jen,
due diligence, yeah.
but
Hmm.
let me ask you this, Jen. So, was you in Hollywood a lot? Did you ever go to Hollywood?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I know you said you knew Adam 22 and Lena at one point, right?
Hmm.
I don't know if you ever seen the movie. I'm sorry, this is a long question. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut, right? It's like a Illuminati type movie of orgies and sacrifices. Have you seen anything crazy in Hollywood being in that lifestyle?
Oh, I mean, I was at those parties.
Okay.
So there's a club. I'm allowed to talk about it because it's public knowledge now. But there's a club called I don't know if they have a different
Oh,
name now.
Whoa, Vicky talked about it, so you can't talk about it. Not P. Whoa, Vicky, not Pino. Whoa,
Yeah,
Vicky,
yeah.
the actual Whoa, Vicky.
So I know Will Vicky, and she talked about that, but that I never saw anything like that, like no blood sacrifices or weird shit. But they have like a Hollywood sex club, which like they would hire porn performers to put on live shows. So I
Okay.
got hired to do a couple live shows.
Did you ever get approached
That's
by the
crazy.
wine, or did you ever get approached by Adam 22, like to do anything like that?
No, thank God. Like I kind of told him off and gave him attitude when I met him.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Was he even doing porn at that time?
They were just starting to like interview porn stars, and I think they were working on content on the back burner, but they
Yeah,
hadn't
most people
released it
do
yet.
it for a while, but they don't release it and like really jump all the way into it. They might have personal videos, but he's definitely probably been doing it.
Yeah. So they were at the Pornhub Awards when Kanye West hosted it.
Oh
Where was
yeah.
that held at?
Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Hollywood.
And so obviously you attended that. Were you like a nominee or were you just there?
I don't think I was nominated for the Pornhub Awards. I never really promoted Pornhub or tried to get like a big following because it's a free website. But I
Right.
was nominated for like the AVNs and XBiz Awards. I didn't win any, but to be nominated was cool enough.
Do y'all
Mm.
remember when Pornhub changed like a couple years ago? It went from you could upload anything until it went to original content.
They had a bunch of problems of people uploading stuff where the age wasn't verified. So now they wanted to make it harder to put stuff on there so they could verify the ages.
Facts.
Now,
Good.
now I'm like construction wise, I do cement saw cutting. That's what my trade is. Demo, cement saw cutting. And every year our boss would pick one person that he would take to Vegas and we would and you would get like a couple of days they pay the company and pay for everything and it was going to a like a saw cutting convention. So
Mm-hmm.
it was next door to the porn convention. So we were always fighting over who got to go.
Oh yeah, like Sure Shot. There was the Concrete Expo.
Yep, there it is, a concrete expo. You go and try out saws and different core drills, and I never got to go. But.
Yeah, no, it was always interesting. Like how they would have conventions next door, and they just see and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And it's like, well, this is
I bet.
happening.
But then it's like, well, it's Vegas. You can't be really that surprised.
Yeah, exactly. And then they have conventions that I went to in like Chicago and Jersey and all over Florida.
Okay.
Oh, so you touchdown in Florida. How was it like out there? No clubs? Were you working out there or
No, I didn't dance out there. I
just
just filmed
vacation?
out there. Yeah, I was vacationing and filming.
Oh, all right.
Like, I was in St.
A lot
Pete,
of
Tampa, and Miami, and Fort Lauderdale.
Oh yeah, I've been out there to Tampa and St. Pete.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they film a lot out here. I've seen a couple. I've seen that bald head dude before, and
Johnny Sins. Yep.
no, not Johnny Sins. The other bald head dude.
Oh, I don't know.
The one that's a Johnny Sins kind of wannabe. But he's more in shape. Pause.
Oh, I don't know.
If someone in the chat knows you're not gay, for giving that answer, by the way.
Yeah, drop that for the plug, man.
Oh, yo, what the hell? All right, so let me ask you this then, Jen. So, normally this would be a question for advice for the young girls, but I hope there's no young girls watching my channel. Yeah. So, with that being said, is there advice that you could give dads that may help? Maybe prevent them from their daughters from going down that road. I know with social media the way it is, it's kind of next to impossible.
Yep.
But if there was any kind of advice you could give us to not even give our daughters, but maybe to do in our lives that could maybe prevent that.
Yeah, I mean, so you definitely want to be involved always. You want to be in there and be a good role model, but it's just letting them know that they're worth more. Like, you can't put a price. Like, for me, anyone who meets me, I just assume that they've seen me naked. But there's no price that you can put on that at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I put a price on it, but I was also stupid. I didn't know. But tell your daughters that there's no price because, people are seeing OnlyFans and it's popular and you can do it from home. You don't have to go to Florida. You don't have to go to California. But just letting them know that there's no price for their dignity, that there's no price they can put on mystery. That's the sexiest thing, is mystery, that no guy knows what he's going to get with you until he's with you. Like, I used to be able to tell guys, like in high school, and guys would be like, "Oh, I slept with Jen," and I was like, "No, you didn't. What tattoos do I have? What piercings do I have?" But now everybody and their brother knows what tattoos and piercings I have.
Right.
So there's no price on your mystery, and for guys to worship that and to not give that away for free or for $5.99 or for whatever OnlyFans or whatever quick money, and just letting them know not all quick money is good money. Like, now you could kind of sell weed and it's not a felony, but now you can do more things. I'd rather my daughter do DoorDash than do OnlyFans.
Right, facts.
This is the guy I was talking about, J-Mac. Pause.
Oh, J-Mac, yeah. Yeah, I know him.
Hey, I seen him all the time in Ybor City. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, he just stays out there. He doesn't even come to California.
Yeah, he lives in Miami, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale.
Or Fort Lauderdale. Okay. But so what's your relationships with other stars? I know you were naming some the last time we were talking to you, but who would you say was your best friend in the industry, and who's the one that you hated the most?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Told you I had 13 questions written down, guys. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
So, best friend. I was good friends with Cassidy Klein. That was one of my best friends. Felicity Feline. Jocelyn Kelly. We were good friends. Oh gosh, what's her other? I know her real name, but I'm trying to think of her porn name.
Did you ever meet Lena Rhodes?
Yeah, of course. We had the same agent.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then the person that I liked the least and liked me the least was Bella Danger. Me and her hated each other.
Oh yeah.
Why is that? Why would you say?
Because we had the same agent, and he like would want you guys to be friendly and stuff, but
A little too
like
friendly.
I wouldn't be her little minion. Like I didn't want to um run errands with her. I didn't want to run errands for her. I didn't want to be her little minion. I was my own person, even if I was a smaller name and smaller brand. And then uh she would just like talk shit, you know, simple catty girl stuff like that.
Hey, there's a question in the chat. Have you ever worked at the ranch? Shout out to DJ with the question.
No, I never worked any of those. I was already like doing the do, you know, the illegal way. And you know, once you're in with the, you know, human traffickers, we all call them because that's what they're actually charged with now. They have a case ongoing, the people that I used to work for. There's like loyalty. And if you go and look at anyone else, they'll never work with you again. And you'll be on the streets and you'll be getting beat up and you'll be, you know, like with bums.
Yeah.
So they like
Hey,
put this
Miss
loyalty.
Miss Stone wants to know, or Miss Stone wants to know if you worked with Lee Stone.
No, I never heard of them.
What about Sadie West? You ever heard of her?
Mm-mm.
Her and I used to talk. I think she was out that way for a little while.
Nice. Yeah, there's so many people, and like
Yeah.
I would get close to people and try to tell the new girls, like, get a savings plan, save your money, get health insurance. Like, you don't get health insurance with this job, you have to pay for it. So I would try to tell people, but then when people started dropping dead, it hurts your heart so much. Like, I'm a giant softie, and it just hurt. I'm like, there was like a 19, 20-year-old girl that died of a UTI.
Oh,
And I'm
no.
like, how the fuck do you die of a UTI in 2020 or like
Wow,
2018, whenever it was?
Right.
How about
that's
house?
crazy.
Because
Yeah.
house phone was, I'm not gonna lie, house phone was going through a lot of those girls back in the day. Even Lena, he had sex with Lena. Did you do anything with a house phone?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is that a no or hell no?
That's a hell no.
All right.
I was never like a clout chaser. Like I was always happy being like unknown and under the radar. So that way when I retired, it would be easier to retire and go out without like people stalking me or people wanting to know where I am still. Like I've been retired.
Did you have to deal with a lot of that?
A lot of people have
Yeah,
seen.
that's actually a good question.
What was your craziest experience with a stalker or like crazy fan or? Oh.
I mean, I don't know if this was a fan of my industry work or if this was a fan of my streaming, but somebody showed up to my house.
Whoa. That's
and was
pretty
like,
extreme.
she knows me, she knows me.
What?
That's a good question.
Wow, that's kind of scary though.
Mm-hmm.
How prevalent
being a female
in the industry?
Gotta get yourself a few pit bulls, man. Some pit bulls, man. You already know.
Drug addiction is very, very rampant in the industry. Like, because it's easier to control you. You'll do more crazy scenes. You won't care about tearing and ripping.
You rely on them and
Yeah, exactly. You'll spend all your money as soon as you make it, need another scene, and you'll do any type of scene. You know, there were a lot of videos that I said no to.
Right.
Awesome, Grub Mode. I see you in the chat.
What are the most common drugs?
Pain pills and coke and ecstasy.
Yeah, the love drug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
And probably I'm gonna say Viagra and Cialis.
Yeah, I mean that's just
mandatory.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's Mando.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure meth is big too because I've seen
yayo
because of the girls I know that I went to high school with that went on to be stars. You know, their face caved in. They're, you know, meth is a good sex drug. You know, I wouldn't know personally. I mean,
we appreciate you doing the research for us though.
Yeah.
He dug up.
I thought it was Molly, Ronnie. Gosh.
Yo, hey, no, I meant the research, but hey, that's like, you know, I think a lot of people would pass it off as that sometimes, the love drug.
Yeah, like I saw people doing it before, but I didn't know what it was, and they were
probably
just like
transition, like they will go from that to that. Probably.
Well, that shit. that shit'll have you going rounds. You know what I mean? You'd be like, boom, ready to go. You know, it's fucking yeah. That's just definitely can be a love drug.
Well, I was
Yeah.
talking about the Molly, but I'm sure it could lead up to the meth, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
the
they
Molly.
definitely
Yeah, I'm talking about
progress.
I was
the
thinking the yayo would be a big in that industry, you know.
Yep.
no.
No, I get
What?
whiskey.
I see that throws me off.
Me too, Az. It's somebody
No,
told
no, I don't mean personally. I just mean like to keep people up. Probably more for the females. I don't know.
I
Well,
get
and a
Yeah,
lot of
whiskey.
them
I
saw
would think.
cocaine as a diet plan. Like one of my girlfriends was like,
Right.
I lost 15 pounds.
That's
And I'm like,
crazy.
that's not
That's so
good.
unhealthy.
I
Yeah.
bet you did. Shit.
In your
Yeah, because
face.
that shit, you got whiskey dick and you got coke dick.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
guys wouldn't use it, but the girls would.
Right.
Right. Okay. See, that's what we're. Yeah.
Like I
Right.
knew girls that got their noses redone,
Oh,
snorted, and needed another new nose.
Oh lordy.
damn.
Yeah.
Sorry,
She
Michael
went, she
Jackson.
went
Ooh.
through two, three of them.
Yeah, there's only one guy I knew that was like really bad on coke.
So now it's 2023, Jen, and I've been hearing from the last time we talked till now, I've been getting a lot of people coming to me saying, "Yo, Dylan, New Age, you gotta be careful, bro. She's part of the IP2 community." What is the IP2 community?
So IP2 is anti-ice Poseidon, and I don't know if you know what ice Poseidon, the CX network was, but about 5 years ago, when I was like ending porn and doing OnlyFans, by myself and like with people I was dating, um, I met Ice Poseidon, who was a very large streamer. He would have like 3 to 5 thousand people watching him every stream, and
Holy
um,
crap.
yeah, he would have a lot of viewers. He'd get a lot of donations. He was making like $10,000 a month, living in the center of Hollywood, living in the best places, like 3-story condo. And he would play video games, but he would also introduce characters. So all of
Mhm.
these characters would be called Andy. So you would have Asian Andy, Mexican Andy, autism Andy, uh, ski
Ski
Oh,
mask
Mask
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah, but he
No
called himself that.
shit.
Yep.
Any Irish Annies?
I don't no, but they had
Kidding.
they had a butler that was from England, I
They
think.
got the Annie and the Andy.
So what does Ski Mask Andy do? I mean, I know we didn't want to freaking talk about him, but
Oh, I don't care.
like
Open
what?
book.
Like I don't understand. Like so that guy made characters and he was one of them.
What the
He
fuck?
didn't make him a character. Like Ski Mask started streaming and he wore a ski mask and he went outside of the house. He wasn't invited in. Like when I showed up without telling anybody. I was invited right in like a party. They're like, "Oh, you
Yeah.
get to come in. We want to hang out with you." And I was
Hey,
never an Andy because I had my own name and brand. I was like,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna fucking call me shit but Bobbi or Jen.
right.
And so then Ski Mask showed up outside of the house like, oh, I want to see what this is about. I want to make money. I want to make viewers. I want to do all this. And he wore a ski mask while doing it. So everyone in the chat called him Ski Mask Andy. But
Okay.
he was never like invited into the parties. He was never invited into the in crowd. So first it was that CX network, which I was on. Then they started hating Ice Poseidon and turning on him because he wasn't making the type of content they wanted. So they wanted to control him and manipulate him and, control the Andes and all these characters that he made and have them stream 10 times a day, have them stream, getting arrested, doing drugs, like bad downfalls. So IP2 was created to push them for like the evil side of streaming. But IP2 has like died off. It's so much infighting and there's so much drama and like toxic shit that like people don't want to have anything to do with it. So it's not like growing. They just put people on the network and then because I was on CX network, I'm automatically on IP2.
Okay. What kind of I guess what kind of damage have you received from doing that? From them at least. Are they trolls or what are they?
Yeah, I mean they're trolls, but it was years ago when they were actually like something to be scared of, quote unquote. Like I'd been DDoS, which is when they take down your internet for like a minute and you just restart your router and it's back up. Um, I don't think I've had any pizzas or anything called to my house. But I've been doxxed where people put out my address, and then that one guy showed up to my house.
Damn,
Um,
that had to be scary.
well, luckily my ex was there at the time and just like beat him up and like chase him down the block.
Oh, well, that works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not anything to be scared of. It's definitely like an alternative, sketchy part of the internet, but it's nothing to be scared of. They're not what they used to be.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, right? We've interviewed King AK, Milk 74, but this one I'm like nervous about because I don't know, because I'm not gonna lie to you, Jen. I'm married. I got 4 kids, right?
Oh,
And
nice.
I don't know if my wife would be too happy about doing an interview with a former whatever, right? But I let her know earlier, and she was all cool about it, which was great.
That's
But
dope, yo. She
she don't
supports
care
it,
at
bro.
all. But
Well,
finding questions, this was out of our element a little bit, AZ and Blue Eyes, and I don't know, man. My bad if I'm a little nervous.
no, it's all good. How I relate it to like jail tube and prison tube, whatever you guys want to call it, is like my Bobbi Dylan is my inmate number. I'm putting that number so far behind me and it's dead to me that like and not that I never want to see that name again, but it doesn't serve me anymore. Like I'm Jen, I'm a mom, I'm a student, I'm a worker. I've made so much, and being in the industry has the same um how would you call it, stereotypes as being in prison. People think you're never going to do anything different, you're never going to be better, you're never going to change, so you have this weight on you that like you got the old inmate number following you around. People are like, even in the chat right now, people are like, why are you using your name? Like, see, you want to do porn again. Like, motherfucker, I can talk about my inmate number, I did my time.
Right.
Like,
And we're all a work in progress at the end of the day. It ain't, where you been, it's where you at,
So what's your paperwork look like, Jen? How many times you been to jail and stuff? What's going on with that?
so I beat every case I've ever gotten. Thank you for the lawyer money,
Not
adult
guilty,
industry.
y'all got
Right,
to feel
right.
me. Shout out to the
And
lawyers.
yep, yep. And I had 2 assault charges, and I beat them both.
Nice.
Yeah.
Against women or men?
One was a like security guard for a hospital, and one was a girl, and that video is on YouTube.
Okay.
Damn.
Let me go get the link for that real quick.
Dirty guys always,
What is
Yeah, it's a good video.
what is that video under?
It's under Bobbi Dylan Alice fight.
Oh, okay. We'll check that. Maybe on mine because I think AZ is monetized. I don't think we can...
Yeah, that shit was funny.
My bad. Hunter Zan's coughing. Anyways,
Hunter Zans, what up, brother? Salute.
what's up? But yeah, I mean that's what everybody was saying. Like, watch out for the IP2 community. Okay. I think our community, when it comes to like the hip hop and the prison genre, all that, dude, these guys get pretty grimy too. Like, we've already been through the doxing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're just interested about that. Like, why are you still online? Like, are you still? What community are you in now?
I mean, I'm still online in the sense of like a viewer. Like I like to watch 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. I love that shit.
YouTube Streets podcast, of course.
Yeah, YouTube Streets podcast. I like some of the prison tube or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I like some of the drama channels that cover the shows that I watch.
Tony from the Revere calls it the FIC, the formerly incarcerated community.
See, I call it prison tube.
Prison tube. That's good. There's prison TikTok too. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, no, I like the one girl that was like a meth head, and she always posts like, "This is how you talk to your sugar daddy in jail."
Yeah. They don't have a hard time switching over to YouTube either. Like the Dante show, he came from TikTok. There's been a couple guys. Ian Bick, I believe. Ronnie, he came from TikTok. He's been doing the food show.
Yep. We're gonna get him on next. Whoa, in like a few weeks.
Azruction's on TikTok. Make sure y'all go follow him.
Hello. So with the bad and good involved in the industry, what was some of the what would you say is like some of the best things you've seen or experienced, and what was the worst?
The best things that I've seen.
Like that you could take, because you know how we try to take some positive
Yeah.
from any negative situation. So what was the worst you've seen, but what's the positive you took from it?
Worst that I've seen. It would definitely be like the human trafficking, the sex trafficking, where like they'll take your ID, they'll have you living in their house, they'll call you all types of crazy names, they'll break you down mentally, emotionally, physically, and get you like loyal to them and like
So starting to be exposed to stuff like that was
yeah,
kind of
that's something.
the end
Yeah,
all
that's
be
definitely gonna be
all
the
for.
worst.
All right, yeah. So is that
And
when
then
you planned your exit strategy, or
yeah, for sure. I was like, I'm done with this. Like, they
right?
got the wrong bitch. Like, I'm not addicted to drugs. I don't need the money like this. I can go back to get a regular job and make hourly wage.
Yep.
And then what I took from that was we had a case, we had a federal case, and we are helping put them away so that way they don't do that to anyone else's daughter.
Mm.
Because it's like you can't treat a human like a dog and try to break them and try to get them to work for you and try to put them under you and make all this money off them.
Yeah, that's not support. That's guerrilla.
Yeah.
And
And then it's like to be able to protect other people's daughter, because even if I had a son, like I would still want to protect other people's
yeah,
daughters because it shouldn't happen to anybody.
right. So on a good night, right? Let's say Vegas.
hmm
You're dancing. You're in
hmm
Vegas. What would you think you made probably on your best night? You could touch on that,
My best night,
or on a good night, or on an acceptable night.
unacceptable night.
You know,
I mean, I always stayed until it was an acceptable night. I wasn't going home with no money.
right?
Because it
But you
costs too
know,
much
this
to go
this
in.
yeah, this bigger and better always coming in and out, and then you have your average riffraff. So,
Yeah. My best night was probably like $2,500, $3,000.
all right, and that's
Um,
in one night, people. All right, you know,
yeah, that's in like 6 to 8 hours.
all right,
And then, having a fun time, like when celebrities would come in, that was always cool as fuck. And
right,
like,
and that's what I mean about an acceptable night.
yeah,
Um, you never know who's gonna come in the door. I know some, athletes and some rappers that threw out some crazy amounts of money when I was in the strip club with them. Just
mm-hmm,
unbelievable.
yeah, it's
Like
crazy.
you could buy a few cars.
Oh, yeah,
No joke. But
for sure. Yeah, it's crazy what they spend. Like, they can't even hit the ATM because the ATM doesn't have limits like that. They got to go to the cashier cage and
shoebox money.
yeah, exactly. And bring out their card, clear the card for like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000,
My
and then
bad, my
just get
bad.
racks and racks and racks in plastic.
Right. You're good. I got you. You good, bro?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My lady just got home from work, so
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. I got you. We've been carrying on the conversation.
Mhm.
yeah, my bad, my bad. Where
We
where
got you.
where we at?
I was just asking her best night in Vegas, what she raked up.
Oh, okay.
So she was
Vegas is a fun place.
Yeah, it
touching on
is.
about $3,000 in like 6 hours,
Yeah,
Oh shit.
which ain't bad.
Right.
not shabby.
Not at all.
But then it makes it hard because you don't want to go back to work. You're like, I just paid my rent, I paid my car note. Like, I don't need to
Right.
go back for shit.
Hey, is like, are you comfortable like saying like what's the most you've made in one day, or even from like one scene or one film or
Oh,
however it goes?
okay. From that industry, yeah.
Yeah, I would say the most I made in a day is about 5,000.
Okay.
All right, so about doubling your best night on dancing night.
Yeah, so definitely like you had the opportunity to make more money, but
Right.
it's not good money because, like I said, then your video is out there forever.
It
You
comes
don't
with
have any
limitations.
royalties to it.
Right. Well, that's a bad hit. That's like being an artist, like a rapper, and not getting your masters and your mix or owning your own copyrights. That's crazy. That's
Exactly.
Well,
hard to deal with.
is it like how like normal people would think? Like most people probably think that you're probably out like busting scenes out every day for
No.
months on end. But realistically, I don't think it's like that, right? It was like
Well, you
more
got to
spread
think
out,
about
or
what she made in one day. You wouldn't have to. I'm sure some people chase it, but let's let her elaborate. But hey, if you're making up to 5 G's in one day, you wouldn't
right?
have to chase it every day. But
Yeah,
that's a
but I
good
want
question.
money, so I probably would
Some
try.
people,
Huh.
some girls are chasing that though.
Yeah. Well, some people had to chase it because they had the drug addiction. So you give them $5,000 for the drug addiction, they're smoking it, they're snorting it, they're popping it, and it's gone in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
You give somebody like me $5,000 and it's good for 3 months.
hell yeah.
So for me, I would work like 3 days a month. Sometimes I would try to get more, but I never wanted to be a top star. I never wanted to be an award winner. I never wanted to be the best of the best because I wanted to be able to retire and like nobody know who I am.
And when you did that, was there any like backup plans, projects, or habits you like to get into or you wanted to do, like to follow up with anything, whether it was art or any other thing you were into, or it was just completely just
Um,
ducking out? I want to get out of here, get out the scene, lay low.
I was into like nursing school. Like, I
Oh,
was
that's
always into
awesome.
doing that.
Hey, not to be ironic, but like two of the strippers that I've dated were both nighttime
Nurses. Yeah,
nurses.
I know. It's so
I swear to
common.
God,
That
yep.
and real estate agents.
And that used to be my dream girl. I used to, like I like a stripper to keep me entertained, but a nurse to keep me healthy. So one and the same one. That's perfect.
Hell yeah, Ronnie.
Hey, what do you say? Yo, what
Yeah.
do you know?
Yeah, like I thought it'd be cool to like do a stream and like or a podcast or something. And people always told me I should write a book, but I was just like,
Oh,
I
you
was doing
thought,
a
all
lot of
right.
yeah, I thought that it would be interesting to just like talk about
Right.
um the sex industry and like I did a lot of
And there's a big
streams.
audience for that.
Yeah, and I did a lot of streams about news, what was going on, and like the trafficking, and
Okay.
what was really going on in behind the scenes.
Well, that
And
might be
Well,
different when you start going
can you,
against the grain. You might get different
oh, I was
feedback.
always
How is
against the
that?
grain. Yeah,
Yeah.
they always hated me because I talked out and
is
Okay.
couldn't fucking control
is
my mouth.
is like underage? Is that a thing?
No, because they check your ID, your birth
Hell
certificate,
yeah.
like your social security.
So they're not like secretly like making films like that, or like have
No,
you
I
heard
mean,
like
I've heard of stuff, but not like that.
Right.
right?
Good. Well, at least you stay clear from some terrible shit. Like,
Yeah, like there's a lot of evil out there, and it's
right.
like you agree to do so much, and they're like, now we want more, we want more.
And sometimes it's easier to get mixed up in these type of things than people would think,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, of course. That's why I think it's very easy for people to like go down to Florida, make a video, go down to California, make a video. But now it's even easier with OnlyFans. People don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to have a partner. They don't have to have the
Yeah.
STD tests. Like, so it's
Yeah.
scarier because like
I thought chicks was fools before. Now they ain't even linking in person. It's crazy. It's a whole different game. But hey, I can't knock no one for what they do. Salute.
All right.
mm-hmm,
Whole time, right? We've been talking about your whole profession, but we haven't talked about you.
Get 'em.
We haven't talked about you, like
mm-hmm.
your love life. Let's talk about your love life. Like, what's going on with that? I know you have a kid. How many kids do you have?
Only one.
And that's with Skid. What do you want to say his name? What do we call him? Blue collar.
Skid Mark Andy.
Skid Mark Andy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. So that's your baby daddy, and he's a piece of shit, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, like I thought I was gonna be one of those girls that like, oh, I rode with him through jail. Like I gave him commissary, I gave him money on the books. I, did everything you're supposed to do. But if you just like love someone so much, maybe they'll change. But you can't change somebody that doesn't want to be changed. And like they're just broken and like have mental health issues. And like every time they go to jail, obviously he goes on meds. But then he gets off meds when he gets out, and all the like lover boy talk and all that like jail talk, all those little letters are bullshit.
Yeah, we talked about e-beggars, right? He's the biggest e-beggar I've ever seen on the internet. I'm sorry.
For sure. No, for sure.
Like, there's nobody that compares to that. Like, I'm sorry, it was bad.
Well, and he begged through the whole pregnancy and was like, people donated like $100 to her college fund. I never got the $100.
Oh, of course not.
Like, you know, like people would be like, here's for your daughter's first pair of shoes. Like, here's for your daughter's diapers. And like, he bought 2 packs of diapers, which are like, you know, $40 each. That's $80. And then 1 set of outfits, which is, you know, $10, $20. So he spent less than $100 on his daughter forever.
He'll wake up one day.
Uh,
But what about your love life now? Who are you with, or are you single?
yeah, I mean, I'm just testing out everything, seeing what's out there, focusing on my kid, you know, giving her the best of everything.
Do you
Um,
have a profession now, or if you don't have to share that actually, but if like maybe something like, do you go to school after the whole thing, or?
yeah, I go to school and then I'm
Good.
also in the medical field, and
That's
that's what I
awesome.
wanted. I wanted to be in some type of medical profession. I like helping people. I feel like, you know, when you're helping people, even if they recognize you from somewhere, which I don't get recognized often because I look so different now with like, I got my boobs done, I got more tattoos, I had different color hair for a while. So, I don't get recognized, and people aren't going to be like, oh, you can't help me anymore because I know who you used to be.
Mm.
Is that something you worry about?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've had people contact me on my Instagram, which I changed my name, and they were like, are you Bobbi Dylan? Like, you look hella like her. And I'm like,
Oh,
yes, I'm Bobbi Dylan.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey yo, I used to use this when I would be in the music game and the rap game. If I wasn't like if I was in an antisocial mood and someone's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey yo, you severe, you Ronnie Blue Eyes," I'm like, "Oh, that's my brother."
Ah, there you go.
Until I get all the face tats, but
Yeah.
it used to work sometimes.
there was a point, Ronnie, where you were a different. You used your account to get an interview with me, and it worked to the T. And I would never take any of that all that back. I strongly recommend people to have multiple accounts, promote yourself, treat yourself like an Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do for yourself. No one's gonna do it for you.
Yeah, definitely. Because when you have kids, like, you got to support them. You got to have
And
insurance. You got to
and
have
then you
life
gotta do what you
insurance.
gotta do for them.
Yep,
And
exactly.
that's a whole different ball game.
Oh,
Facts,
yeah.
facts. Ronnie's a genius. You guys are geniuses.
That's my dog.
But yeah, like I don't know, man. I don't know about y'all, but let me ask Azruction this question.
Yo.
At a time in your life, did you ever think about going in? I know, because Cuzzo was in the industry, right? But he was doing weird shit. Did you ever think about? No, shut up, Hunter Zans. Let me do this question. Have you ever thought about it, Az, at one point going into the industry, but doing some straight shit, like just fucking some bitches? You know what I'm
Hey
saying?
yo, plug, I love you
Yeah.
for asking AZ and not me, but AZ, you gotta answer that.
No, I'm coming to you,
I mean,
Ronnie. I
yeah,
got
of
one.
course.
You gotta
You know
call
what I
my
mean?
manager. which
Yeah,
is
of
which
course.
is
You know what I mean?
which is plug.
Well,
I had my opportunities. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
With some pretty big company. I had my opportunities at one point.
Right.
My
You thought
mom made
about
me
it?
not do it though.
Right.
Ah.
You thought about it?
The way when I had told her what the opportunity was, she was upset,
No.
Yeah.
and I could hear it in her voice. And she already didn't agree with what I was doing. So when
Mm-hmm.
that went into that, that's how.
She's like, now you're doing too
Yeah,
much.
the way her voice made me feel was like,
Hey,
damn.
to each his own, you know what I mean? Some people
I
find
think it
their
was
way
like
into it.
19.
Some people need to get there. Yep.
Yeah,
I
I
think I
hit
just
it
turned
with my
19.
family.
yeah, Az could have
So.
did fakes of a young Woody Harrelson. Now, Ronnie Blue, we already know what you do. We already know about the OnlyFans. Go ahead and
Nah, that's cat. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Are you going to start one though? Because a lot of people were asking.
Nah, I mean, Scandalous Entertainment. Check it out. It's all music. It's all music. And if I do, you're gonna be producing it. So you know.
Wait, what?
Mike D said he would, sling the wood on camera. I don't know if that's a pun because he's a wood, but it's funny.
Yeah, salute Wood. Mike D's my
It's a
favorite Wood
double
on YouTube.
entendre. You know what I mean?
Let's go, bud. That's
Like,
just what Mike D cracks me up. Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
so with this in that industry, was a lot of other girls like snakes, or did you find any real bonds or friends, or like
Yeah, I
chicks you
definitely
consider
found
close
friends
to
and
this
like
day?
girls.
Or
Yeah, definitely found friends and girls that I'm close with, and like other people who are like trying to get the word out about the industry and like the toxicity and the abuse that you go through. So it's definitely cool to have people that I can talk to about that because not a lot of people understand it.
and it
And then,
seems like you could be a voice for younger women considering this kind of stuff, you know.
yeah, especially with how
Yeah,
popular it's
definitely.
getting and like how easy it is to do from home now to be like OnlyFans or camming and things like that. And I feel like women just need to realize from others' mistakes like mine is like you don't have to be putting it all out there. You know, it's better to have mystery to you.
Mm. And that is a crazy lifestyle, and it creates a lot of crazy situations. And with that being said, what was the most awkward situation you ever found yourself in?
This interview.
Nah, she loved. This is her favorite interview she's ever had. Facts.
Awkward, most awkward
They
position.
gotta be. There gotta be something.
Yeah, no, of course. I feel like the most awkward position is just when you have awkward threesomes.
Right.
You
With
know,
maybe like a couple that ain't all the way in on it. Like I've
yeah,
experienced that where like my chick's like down and then halfway through she's like, "You're kissing her
knocked out.
more. You're kissing her more." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like
Oh yeah, no, I'll get up and
little shit. They get
I've
jealous.
gotten up and walked out before.
Oh wow.
I'm like, I'm done with this.
Okay.
Um, but yeah,
That's not awkward. That's a Tuesday.
yeah,
No, I'm
exactly.
kidding.
But it's just funny. Like, I would say that was the most awkward. Just like,
Them
or
kind of
oh no,
situations.
there was one girl that she had a bad yeast infection, and
Oh,
we had to do a scene.
TMI.
Hey, this is real.
Yeah.
It goes down.
Hey, isn't it
We're
true?
our end, so do what you know, keep it
Isn't it
real.
true that you guys can't? Well, I'm not saying you guys, 'cause you don't do no more, but to females that are in the
What do
industry
you
now,
mean,
yeah,
you guys? No, I'm kidding.
females that are in the industry now, they can't eat corn. Is that true?
Can't eat corn.
Yeah,
Oh
Hey.
my God, bro.
I know a couple guys, and they said they had a piece of corn on their penis. And
Now they got to, cause certain people like that.
I mean, you change your diet if you're doing those type of scenes. Like you don't eat. You kind of just like eat.
Hey
Like there's
yo,
the mm,
go ahead.
there's the stereotype that like gummy bears will make you pull clean.
Yo, that's hilarious. Az, one of our most favorite movies, Black Mass, right?
What is
My
it?
homeboy, you know the movie Black Mass?
Oh yeah.
Johnny Depp in Boston plays Whitey Bulger. He's in the
Mm-hmm.
back of the whip with the old timer, and they're like, I heard the Pawn Stars, you know, they eat the celery. The girl in Revere was telling me from the strip club that the Pawn Stars eat the celery before they perform. I heard celery was one of them through that movie,
Yeah,
you know.
I never heard of celery. I've heard always the
Hey, you heard
stereotype
now.
is
You're gonna
gummy
learn
bear.
today. You're
Yep.
gonna learn today.
Oh shit, right.
not cream corn. Gosh, don't be commenting.
Damn.
Not
I
cream.
ain't looking at the chat, bro. So that was just so random because I ain't looking at the chat, and my homeboy just came out the cut with no green corn.
No, that was
Not
Hunter's hand. Hunter's hands yelled that at me. I'm like, dude, come on.
Oh, it wasn't even from the chat. Leave it to Zans, man.
Anyways, no, that was a real. I've actually heard that. Like, just because like doing anal, sometimes it appears on the D. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was never one of my forte genres.
Well, were there any kind of strict rules or diets? Because, like, let's say, like, for instance, some people like to get their people doped up, and some people like their people sober and wanting them to take a drug test.
Mm. Um, Weird diets. No, just like if you were to do
Or
something
like weird
that.
rules, like, you know,
No,
was
just that you could.
anything frowned upon, whether it was fraternizing amongst each other outside of or was that just a all goes go for all?
It was like as long as everyone's tested, you're good because you get tested
Right,
every like 13 days.
right, because this is a profession.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And you get tested every 13 days. So as long as you like stay good and you're not like messing around outside of that test, if you were to go have sex with your boyfriend and he's not tested, your boyfriend could have slept with somebody else, giving you chlamydia, and then you bring it to everybody at work.
Yeah, and you got an excuse lined up a year
So it's
long.
pretty strict then.
Yeah.
It tries to be strict, but people still fuck it up. I'm like, come on, like.
No
Yeah.
pun, maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I had
That is
seen
no.
I had
Tell me,
seen
no, let me
somebody
hear.
reported on what's her name? Mia Khalifa. She got something like
Oh, I don't know.
something bad. I heard it was on. Somebody did a short on it. I saw on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and
Really?
she's like ruining the industry now.
Well, she only did a couple scenes. She did a couple videos, and then she made like, oh, I only made $10,000 in porn. It's like, yeah, but you made your name as a brand, and now she does like sports telecasting and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that Ashton Kutcher's wife?
No, Mia Khalifa, she's like a
That's Mia
Muslim porn
Kunis.
star.
All right, double check it.
All right, so let me ask you this then. So let's say you have a younger girl sitting in front of you right now,
Mm-hmm.
and she's thinking about going down the same exact road you did.
Mm-hmm.
What is the advice that you would give her?
Oh, we were getting to this question.
If you really want to do some type of work like that, go be a stripper. Go be a dancer. You're
Right.
safe. There's security. You have limits.
Crawl
Like,
before you walk.
yeah, whoever
When you
sees
stop
you is
running.
only the people at the club. It's not everybody in the world out there watching you. Go to college, pay for a degree, and get the fuck out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
A degree.
Yeah. Always get a
That's
degree.
a good message. Message.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we appreciate all the insight.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't know where Plug went. I don't know if Azruction has a few more questions. Who we got in the
I
chat?
I really don't.
Are we letting
She
anyone tap up?
answered a lot of stuff. So I don't know if you want to. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna let people up because I feel like we would get weird people
No, I didn't.
coming
I
up.
thought we had some of the
But
homies.
if people have questions, now is the time.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Chat questions. I'm checking.
We could, yeah, definitely. I didn't know if we had any homies in the chat. Let me check it out. We got Miss Thing, we got Jersey in the house. DJD, salute.
The
Let's
very
talk to
first
each
time
other.
I filmed a scene, I was definitely nervous. Super, super, super nervous. How long did it take me to get past the nerves? I think the whole video I was like ready to throw up.
Now, is it because like you knew that this wasn't just because between like you and your say like your boyfriend
Partner.
or whatever? Like, is it because you knew that there's a potential that a million people, different people, could see this?
Yeah, of course, that a million people could see this, that you're trying to push yourself to like superstar extent and like an Olympic performance. You're trying to be
Yeah.
like the best at everything. And you're just so nervous of like, how am I going to look? Do I have a
Right,
fat roll? Do I have like, am I crunching up the wrong way?
right.
I hear that. I hear that. But with everything you've been through, if you had like a dream job or habit, whatever you could do now, if you could do whatever you wanted to do, what would that be?
If I could do anything that I wanted, I'd be a registered nurse, RN.
And that's a goal you're already working on accomplishing.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I went to nursing school and then COVID happened, and
Right.
it's so hard. The classes, it's very, very hard to do. So trying
I
to get through
respect
those
that.
classes, I think I'm just gonna do a couple certificate programs rather than going for a full RN.
I hear that.
Mm.
That's
Is
good.
there one thing you would do different?
All of it.
All of it?
That was
Yeah, like
that was
I
definitely a question. Me and Plug. Yeah. That's a deep question.
Explain what you mean by different. Like
Yeah.
not have done it or have done it differently or
like I would not have done it. I don't know. I don't think I would have done it. I feel like I didn't gain anything. I definitely lost some stuff from it. And it's the same as to ask you guys if you would go back to prison, like, or would you
right.
not do it? Because it's like you're marked for life, and
Yeah,
people look at
definitely.
you different, and you always gotta wonder if they're looking at you, if they know you from somewhere that you don't want them to know you from, and seeing you a way that they wouldn't normally ever see you.
I
Yep.
mean, for me, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But like seeing other people seeing me, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely, I agree. Like, it marks you for life. We call it our second social security number
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you're always going to have it. It's always going to be with you. I can go
Mhm.
back to, if I went back to Arizona prison, I still get the same exact number I had, even if it was 50 years later.
Oh shit.
Yep.
So, you know, and I remember it for the rest of my life.
Yep.
307387. Boom. Like, you know what I mean? I said it more times than I've said my own social security number. Because
Oh,
everything you go and do is, what's your DOC number? What's your name? Boom.
yep.
And you give it to them. Most of the time, you don't even give them your your name. You
Mhm.
just give them your number. And they just look at you. Usually the number is before the name on most like count charts and shit like that. So,
Mhm.
you know, say it several times a day. Even in Supermax, we said it several times a day.
So whatever you regret, there's a lesson in it all. And was there a take all
Definitely.
from it? As far as the whole industry, like from a perspective, you're looking at it now. You're a little bit older. You're a mom. What
Yeah, I
did you
mean,
take from it that's most valuable as a lesson? You would say.
just like to have like now I have a platform where I have like 108,000 followers on
Hell
Instagram
yeah.
or something, and I can use that as a platform to like
Yeah.
warn people and talk to people and use it like,
Good.
hey, you might know me from
As a
this, but
voice.
that's not all that I am, and I have more to offer, and I
That's
have more
great.
that I would warn people about, and the
That's
message that
great.
I would give young girls.
With that in the nursing, it sounds like you're going in a positive direction. I salute that. I
Yes,
respect that.
definitely. It's
Mm-hmm.
never too late to change your life. It doesn't
Nope.
matter.
Oh yeah, no,
Nope.
for
Never
sure.
too late.
Like I said, it ain't where you been. It's where you at.
I've seen
And where
I've
you're trying to
seen
be at.
and I've seen videos of like people in their 70s and 80s getting their degrees.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like to me that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's dope because it just
Yeah.
shows that no matter what you go through in your life, at some point in time, you can still do what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, not everything happens right when we want it. That's why we make the decisions that we make. That's why
Exactly.
because a lot of us want instant gratification for everything. And that
Yeah.
I feel like that's just kind of like how it is nowadays. I don't feel like it was like that before.
Yeah,
I feel
no, I
like,
get it. I respect
yeah,
the effort. Like when I'm in the gym and I see someone like heavy set or out of shape, but they're in there, I respect them more than anyone in there because like
Mm-hmm.
they're in there, bro. Like I respect the hell out of that.
because I made
It's
all
the
my bad
effort,
decisions due to instant gratification. I made all my bad
Yep.
decisions because I
impulse.
wanted something now.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
wanted money now, or I
Yep.
wanted, dope now, or
Yep.
I wanted this now. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it all came down to something. You know what I mean? And it's a bad trait. If
Yeah.
anybody can lose instant gratification, the need for it,
Yep.
your whole life can be different.
yo,
Exactly.
But I
That's
still
what
want
the
it,
industry is too.
yo. Well,
yo,
because they offer it, they make you guys look. They, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the industry at some point when you get in there, they sell you a dream, just like a pimp does. A pimp
Mm-hmm.
mm,
sells you a dream that very few will obtain.
Yep.
And but they push it as though, you're guaranteed you're going to get you know what I mean? Like, I feel that's how I feel a lot of that stuff will, works.
Yep.
And that's manipulation. That's part of getting people to do what you want them to do, but not necessarily what they would want to do.
Right.
Because you're selling shit, you're selling something to somebody, you know what I mean? You're selling you're selling the Instagram picture on, that's got, 1 million likes of a chick and wearing hardly anything next to a Ferrari. And then it says down below, exit, such and such porn star
Yeah.
or whatever, you know what I mean? They do
Or
the
the
same.
next that Ferrari. I drove the Porsche. Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's the lifestyle that you live for to get to.
Yep. No, for sure. Then it's like you said, only so many girls can be that person, and they sell it to so many girls each year. And their motto in adult is, well, there's a new girl who turns 18 every day. So if we lose, Jen, there's, Becky, Larissa, and Jamie ready to take her spot.
That's crazy.
Yep. And they all make money off of it. Like, I don't get how a porn agent isn't seen as a pimp, and that's legal.
There's all kinds of gray areas, and even with the government and certain industries that are just crazy.
Let me ask you this. This is probably going to sound like a weird question to people because they might not think that this happens. But what is sexual harassment like behind the scenes, and that, with actors, directors, etc.?
I mean, like camera guys, lighting guys, videographers,
So
all those
everybody's doing
guys.
it.
Yeah, they think that they can get with you because you're a porn star, and that it's very hard to find people to date, and it's hard to find people who are down with your lifestyle. So they're like, "Oh, we could hook up. Like, we're all tested, and maybe
You're
I'll
always
date
looking at
you, and
someone's
I can."
angle.
So they go get themselves tested in the hopes that they can sleep with a porn star.
Yeah, and then it's also like that they'll
He's like,
promise you
yo,
more
hey, you just did a
videos.
whole scene with Dread. Yo, let me hey,
Yep.
after this, I've been tested, girl. What's up? Like,
Yep. And they want it
that's
to be
weird.
like that, oh, I can get you more videos, I'm friends with people, I know somebody. It's always, oh, I know somebody, I know somebody.
How do you look at that though? Do you go like, dude, you're a light guy?
Yeah.
What what about the fluffer?
We don't have fluffers.
Yeah, that's a myth.
Yeah, that's definitely a myth.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
No, it's a myth. It's a myth.
Yeah, no. So we
And then
catch a
here, let
little
me
wreck.
see. We had a chat question come up that they said, is it tough to find a man and settle down, find real love because of trust issues, and wondering if they truly love you or it's a lust thing from the past? Definitely a
Yeah,
good
that's
That's a good
question.
question.
That's good to feed off the last question, because I was gonna
Who
ask you
asked
about
that?
relationships.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Oh, Jimbo's got good questions. Yeah.
Whether people would trip off that, or did you have people that understood, or was it hard?
Yes, like I said, my ex tripped off of it hard. Like he could never get over it, never move on. But I've found people that, they've known me before the industry, after the industry, and it's always like, are they just trying to get with a porn star? Are they just trying to get with somebody who was in the industry? Or do they really care for you, who you are?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's always hard. You always gotta like second guess people's intentions, or if they want you for like the clout, the lifestyle, the attention.
Yeah, it seems like you got to worry about that when it comes to just about anything in any kind of social media nowadays.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
having social media is one thing, but having social media and doing the content is a whole nother thing.
Oh, it sucks dick. I've been at bars before and people are like, "Oh my God, like that's your Instagram? Like follow me back, follow me back. Like come on."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sketchy, man, because like you said, you get weird, obsessive fanatics,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus there's people who
stalkers.
are into that thing where they're like into being embarrassed, like degraded,
What?
and they want
So
you to
weird.
like cheat on them and stuff, and I don't
I don't
cheat on
understand
people.
it.
What?
Yeah,
Nah,
me
I
neither.
thought I heard it all. You know. But hey, AZ, what do you think? We might have to schedule a part 2 sometime. It's been fun.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, man. This was a good live. Uh, we appreciate you, Jen, for really because you were honest about a lot of stuff, and some of the questions that were asked were kind of difficult questions, but you handled it like a champ, and
Yeah, it
we
takes
appreciate it because you gave
confidence
the
and
good and the
courage.
bad.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? So
Definitely
that's
kept it real.
yeah, because we don't by having you on, we don't want to glorify it.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Yeah, there is a part of it that obviously has to do with what
And we do the same thing with our with our streets and our prison and jail stuff. We don't glorify the trouble we've been through. We
right.
actually glorify the comeback.
Yes.
Because
So
a lot of us have, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people listening right now that have daughters and have kids, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's why I asked you that earlier, what can we do? You know what I mean? And I know that was a hard question because nowadays, like we said, with social media, it's everywhere. It's
Yep.
everywhere now. You know what I
it's
mean? Like
thrown in your face.
they're the actresses a couple like 2 years ago were suing for their rights basically to be able to show their titties on Fox
Mm-hmm.
and different channels like that because they were like, we're missing out on a big chunk of money here.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's literally like everywhere now. And I find it hard to try and prevent that, because I came from a good family. So it's like I tell people, my mom, she wasn't a drug addict. She wasn't an alcoholic. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
in the streets ever, period,
Yep.
ever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I didn't grow up, with drugs around me. I had family members that have done a lot of years,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But my mom sheltered us from that. But
Yep.
also, I learned growing up, sheltering made things worse.
Yes.
Over sheltering made it worse because when I finally got out, into the world and broke free, I went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? I went wild,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You grip
So,
them so much, you choke them up, and they want to be free.
right. You know what I mean? So it's for me, you being on here wasn't about the sex sales thing. It was I wanted to know a lot of stuff about for my kids. You know what I mean?
I know, of
Because
course.
I know but I didn't, like I know what I've been through. So I can
Mm-hmm.
tell my kids about what the prison, the
Yep.
streets, the life, that. But
Yep.
now there's a whole nother thing. There's
I know, and
OnlyFans,
it's
there's
getting
porn.
more and more
It's
common and more
crazy.
acceptable. And now
Right.
it's like there's teachers doing it, there's lawyers
Oh,
doing it, you know.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. We appreciate you getting on here and just
especially we know
being
you ain't
real.
feeling great. We know you ain't feeling well. We appreciate you pulling through
Oh
and
yeah,
pulling up
definitely. Thank
to the
you.
Yeah,
YouTube
thank you.
streets, and again, much respect.
For
We
sure, for sure.
appreciate you
Definitely.
Thank you for
coming on.
having me.
Of course, of course.
You can
What do
always change your life. You can always do something different. You always have the opportunity. It's just up to you to create that opportunity and take advantage of whatever situation you're in or put yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We can all do it. We've all
you yep.
everybody on the panel, including Plug, even though he's not on here right now, most people in these chats, we've all done it. We've
Yep.
all changed our life in some way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very similar to like that name being your DOC number. So it's like you don't want it, but you keep it with you,
Right.
keep it as a lesson,
But
and
focus
then
on
like you're
what you're
marked for
doing now,
life.
right?
Yep, exactly.
And
And
if
like
you
how
want to
you're
give
gonna
your
change.
channel a shout out or anything you're doing or anything you've got
Yep,
coming
go
up in
ahead.
the future, give your shit a shout out.
Yeah, it's Just Jen on YouTube, Just Jen's World on Instagram.
Salute.
Yeah, I'm just putting
Just
up
Jen.
random shit randomly. I don't really keep up with a regular schedule or
All right.
any type of certain content. I have videos of me when I was pregnant doing crafts and stuff, and you can see that I'm a wholesome normal person.
Right. Just living life, human.
Exactly.
Much respect. All right.
sure.
Well, I think we had a great, first
So
one,
fly.
first session at least.
Yeah,
And
same
again,
here.
we appreciate you pulling up to the YouTube streets. Not many get the courage to pull up and keep it a buck, so we fuck with you.
For sure. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Definitely.
I found you through NJ Courts, so shout out NJ Courts. I wouldn't have never met
Salute.
you guys if it wasn't for them.
Salute NJ Courts.
Definitely,
Yeah.
100%.
And
To the
hey,
chat,
I hope you
everyone in the
pursue.
chat.
Yeah, and definitely, and I hope you pursue speaking out on the industry. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
we all support you. You know what I mean? So
100.
please
For
keep
sure.
doing what you're doing. That's gonna be a rough journey for you, just because people are gonna, not positive people, but the negative people obviously are gonna give you a lot of hate, and
Yeah,
that's
fuck
sad.
'em.
You know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. Fuck them and keep on pushing.
Keep your head up.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Thank
salute
you.
Ronnie,
Hey,
my guy.
AZ, salute, brother. I'll
Yes,
talk to
sir.
you later. You already
Plug's
Yep.
on
know.
his dad time, so he'll be around.
Yep. Do
Yep.
your thing, plug. We love you, brother.
We got you,
Much
dog. We
love.
holding it down.
Yep.
Salute.
Hey, and thank you to the chat for showing up, pulling up. You guys know
Each
what
and
time
every
it
one of
is.
you. Over and out.
Appreciate you.
Thank you
Definitely.
guys.
Salute. Later.
Thanks for coming to the YouTube streets where even you can come get in your feelings. Salute everybody.
Pull up. Pull up.